Welcome back to another episode of Reality Court. My name is Ace Fanning, and I am joined by, she's my beautiful co-host, but today she's really on one. I don't know what her deal is, but she seems to be, don't drink during the episode. I'm starting over.
You said don't eat. You said nothing about don't drink.
Well, you can't just go in the mic.
You didn't hear that. Mary Payne, did you hear anything?
Yeah, she did. She did.
You cannot speak for her because she's your friend before me.
I did not hear it.
By the end of this, we're going to be best friends. And she's going to be like Ace who, so just deal.
Anyways, I'm joined by that loser, Anna Quincoces, former Real Housewife of Miami, who feels the need to do everything into her microphone, except for when we finish an episode, she throws that mic to the side and keeps talking like we can hear anything that she's saying. And today we are joined by a very beautiful, a lovely, a talented, a funny, a gorgeous, a friend of mine, recent friend of mine. We became very fast friends. But guys, please welcome to the show, Miss Mary Payne of Pink Shade. How are you today, beautiful?
Hi, thank you. The sipping into the microphone. So I have literally had Apple reviews where people are like, I have misophonia and I can't listen anymore. I've listened for 8 years and I won't listen anymore because of the slurping.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, could you have told me before today? Because I will. Yeah. So this is my trick. So I go to take a sip and then I lean back and shove whatever my cup is in front of my face while I'm sipping so that you can't hear it. And then the other person I am podcasting with will go, why are you shoving your cup in front of your face? It looks weird.
Yeah, it doesn't. They tell me I touch my face. They tell me,
well,
you can't please everybody.
Right.
Right. But we try. Ace and I really try.
Well, okay, we say that we try, but then you go and you're eating your snicky snacks, you're drinking. Oh, God, now our seat's falling. Mary Payne, when I tell you that, like, it is
happening?
A circus trying to work with her. Every single time there's some technical issue, there's something, she's not talking into the mic, her computer's jumping all around. It's always
Okay,
something.
I have a question. What was that text exchange this morning where it was like, call 911? What's happening there?
So Miss Anna Quincoces, she's got an issue with everything all the time. And currently her problem is that her computer will not go on Do Not Disturb. So when we're recording, what happens is just texts come through and we just hear ba-ding, 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 and it's very annoying and distracting. And so she can't figure out how to get it to not do that. So then she had to scream at us and say, don't text me anymore. I'm trying to do something. I was like, oh, okay.
I was trying to record something like important that I've never done before and I was nervous about. And it just kept going. So I was just like, give me a minute. I'm sorry, Mary. It's not Mary Payne. It's not my best day.
I'm just wondering why you don't know how to turn it on Do Not Disturb. Because
it's on Do Not Disturb.
I just put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and then it just automatically put my computer on Do Not Disturb as well.
Yeah. Honestly, what she could do is just sign out of the messages on her computer and just not even deal with it. Like, we don't... But
how about airplane mode? I do that too.
So, she can't do any of it. She can't do any of it. It's
Mine is both on Do Not Disturb, but I'm going to do the airplane mode.
And Anna, once again, you're not close to your microphone.
I'm going to do the airplane mode, Mary Payne. Because I think that's a good idea. Okay, I just did that.
Probably not.
Nobody ever told me.
Anyways.
I understand.
Oh, my goodness. Well, so yeah, anyways, she's had a morning with her technical difficulties. But Mary Payne, I'm so glad that you're here. I went on Pink Shade a couple weeks ago for the first time, and we immediately hit it off. You understand me. I understand you. And you're not as disgusting as me, but I feel like it's still kind of in your rising sign. It's like in there.
Sometimes it comes out, and I don't mean it to. I don't know how you guys are feeling about Love is Blind, but live on air, my co-host for that, so Keisha, had me look up the definition of cream pie because I didn't know. And so live on air, she was like, I'm not telling you what it is. And I said, okay. So I Googled it while we were recording, and that was a journey that I did not need to go on. No.
Listen, I will say, as somebody who has consumed watching many a cream pies, I'm hoping that you also got the visual.
Nope.
Nope. Okay, just got the definition.
Description was enough for me, and I was out.
No, Anna loves herself a cream pie dessert. That's for sure.
Mary Payne, we're gross. We are gross.
That's okay. I can handle it.
This is what bonds us. We're both gross.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we're going to try to tone it down today a little.
That's okay. Listen, don't tone it down for me. I am a Southern lady, and I do get offended, but I can roll with it, and it's okay. It's okay.
Speaking of being a Southern lady, now it has come out that Mr. Mike White, the creator of White Lotus, has said that he has based the entire family that's got the incestual stuff going on around Southern charm. And I'm wondering your thoughts about this, Mary Payne, as someone from the South yourself.
First of all, that accent is so offensive.
You're welcome.
It's bad.
Thank you.
Offensive.
Really
Offensive. And yeah, so Parker Posey is a Mississippi queen like myself. Mm-hmm. She is in my high school class with many of friends that I know from Laurel, Mississippi. My friend Gigi used to date her twin brother. So when I tell you, I get it. Now, when I heard they based it on Southern Charm, because I've only seen episode 1, I didn't get to watch episode 2 yet. I was like, okay, that gross dad is in fact Thomas Ravenel. That clock and the whole UNC versus Duke. When I tell you, just living up here in Virginia, that is a thing. Like that, the UNC versus Duke is a thing, and people talk about it constantly. And I didn't know about it because I'm from Mississippi. I didn't know about it, but when I saw that, I was like, oh, they're kind of leaning into this thing. But then I got so distracted by possibly the brothers are doing it, then maybe also they're trying to do it with their sister. I was upset.
Yeah.
I was upset.
The incest storyline is not one we've explored too much on scripted television, but listen, I will say this. Arnold Schwarzenegger's son, that's a good-looking feller.
He used to date Taylor Swift, remember that?
No.
Wow. God, I hope I'm not making that up. But I believe that Taylor Swift met him, and he was younger than her by like 5-6 years, which means maybe he was 17, 18, and she was like 22. And wherever that is that they have their compounds and whatnot, Kennebunkport or whatever, people are screaming, going, could not be. Taylor Swift fans are coming to my house. Whatever I just said was completely wrong, but you get the gist. She bought a house like near the Kennedy family. Yes. She was dating him. Do you remember this now?
I remember the house, and I guess I didn't realize that was him.
I believe that's who it was. If we look up the ages, I would say he's probably 5 or 6 years younger than her. But he was like 18 and she was in her 20s, and they dated briefly, and then she bought a house.
More like a Kennedy or a Schwarzenegger?
He's good looking, let me tell you. Like
very.
Does he have the jaw?
He doesn't have the big Kennedy teeth, if that's what you're asking.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But he is really good looking, and it is uncomfortable because he is definitely a predator. He's preying on his brother, which is strange to see. But listen, if I was in his brother's place, I would say, okay, let's go for it. I'm going straight to hell.
I now have to look up if that's who Taylor Swift dated, because otherwise I cannot have the Swifties coming for me.
I do feel like I remember her buying a place by the Kennedys, and that there was some sort of relationship. I guess I just never put that together with who this person was.
Taylor Swift dates a Kennedy.
Oh.
Take the whole thing out. Pat, can you hear me? Taylor Swift dated Connor Kennedy, the son of RFK Jr. So she dated Connor Kennedy, who is our current Secretary of Health, God help us all, RF Kennedy's son.
Oh, okay. So we were a little off.
That's different.
Okay. Take all of it out. So, she wrote a song called Starlight about him, and they dated in 2012.
Okay.
She was 22 and he was 18.
Well, you got some of it right. You got some of it right. For the most part, wrong, but that's okay. We'll take what scraps we can get.
Yeah. Kennedy, a northern beach town, 22 and 18. Taylor Swift.
Yes.
These are the key things you need to know.
Okay. Well,
Patrick Schwarzenegger is hot, though.
And did she break up with him in a song?
Yeah, she wrote a song about him, but no, okay. I think probably the family was like, no pop stars, no.
Anna, have you ever been broken up with via song? Has anyone ever written a song about you?
No one's ever broken up with me, Ace.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because, they know what they have.
Gotcha. Well, then have you broken hearts enough where they've written a song about you?
No.
Oh.
I've never gone out with anybody that talented.
What's Adriana's song from
Fire.
Fire.
Is that the song where she just goes, Miami? Is that the one?
Miami.
Yeah, it's
and she has a new
terrible.
song coming out, too.
Oh, great. Is it also produced by Gloria Estefan's husband or whatever?
No, that was just Emilio. He loves to be on TV for...
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Hey, this is some inside scoop. I love that. I love Miami and Adriana and her changing face.
I think Miami is going to be good this season. I don't know why. I really
She
do.
says this, but rewind the tape a month ago, and she was like, "It's going to be terrible. This Miami sucks."
No,
she's flip flopping.
I'm
really?
flip-flopping, but there's a new cowgirl in town, and I think she's going to. It's going to be, there's going to be a confrontation at the OK Corral in South Beach.
Not the OK Corral. Sorry, I'm back in my awful Southern accent.
You have to stop.
It's terrible.
I do apologize. I really am so sorry.
Yeah.
So, here's my question for you, Miss Mary Payne, and for you, Anna Quincoces. Mm-hmm. We need a verdict on this. Do we find Mike White guilty of, not necessarily basing this off Southern Charm, but for giving us a storyline of incest when I don't know if America was ready for that quite yet, or are we just releasing him of his charges?
Listen, there is so much incest right now. And I'm sorry to interrupt you, Mary, because I usually let the guests speak first.
Please
but
go.
Today, I'm all over it. I'm all over the place. The other day, Elon Musk's dad on Instagram, very matter-of-factly, talked about having 2 children with his stepdaughter.
Oh.
It's like a Mary Cosby situation.
Yeah. And what was the who was the guy who ended up marrying his adopted daughter back in the
Woody
day?
Allen.
Woody Allen.
I know you guys are young, but that's Woody Allen.
No, I'm not young.
Anna's face is young. Her mind is not. Don't worry.
I saw Woody Allen and Soon Yi in a restaurant in New York one time.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it was like...
She looked like a hostage?
No, she looked very happy. I was like, it was obviously, in my opinion, he and Soon Yi and then maybe her mom, because the mom looked about his age and she looked like probably his daughter. Oh, whoops, she was. But it was crazy. Like they were checking out. I was like, we need to stay at this bar. We cannot leave now.
You know who else is incesty? Is that guy who's trying to live forever. He's very incesty with his son. They're like comparing penis sizes.
Right. Well, that guy's got a problem. You know,
I watched the thing about him, and it's like he spends his entire day doing everything he can to try and
biohacking his life.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, he's going to drop dead sooner than anybody else. You remember, you're definitely too young to remember Jim Fixx. He was a runner, like this runner, and he wrote a book about running, and he espoused the benefits of running, and in the middle of a run one day, he had a heart attack and dropped dead.
Anybody that's a runner is going to die of running. I've said it in my...
Which is
always,
why I don't run.
Me either.
Same.
Why would
Can you imagine spending your whole life just being healthy and making healthy choices, and then you're out on a run and you die?
Yeah, that's what you get.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah.
You know what? I would love to die at a hometown buffet. I would like to just go out doing my thing
golden
I love most.
corral.
A golden corral. I would love to just go out doing what I do best, and that is eating. So, Anna, now you brought up incest that's going on elsewhere in the world, but you did not give us a verdict. She doesn't even know what the charges are.
I don't have a problem with incest.
Oh, okay. Glad to hear.
Not as a general thing, not in my family, but look, if it's happening, I'm just saying, anything that's happening in the real world, we can, and then it's being depicted on TV, then that's just truth.
Okay.
It's happening. It's happening.
Miss Mary Payne, what is your verdict on this?
Is he guilty? Wait, we're charging Mike White. No, we can't charge Mike White with anything. He's a national treasure. We need to. No, we can't charge. He's dismissed of all charges because eventually it will come around, and maybe one of them will kill the other people in the family, and it'll all be justice.
That's true. That is good. You know, it could be every time I'm watching, I'm like, oh wait, I think that person's the shooter. Wait, I think that person's the shooter. The girl with the big teeth this episode, I was like, she's the shooter. You know, it's like, it feels like it could be anybody. But I will say this, had the older brother been ugly and disgusting, I would have to file immediate charges. I don't like that. But since he's hot, I do feel like America's more forgiving. And so
I don't like you?
He's
what?
Not guilty?
I'm saying not guilty because it was a good-looking situation. But had it been an ugly situation, I think I would have thought differently about this.
Well, let me ask you this, because I've only seen the first episode. So do you think middle brother wanted to stay with the sister because he's like, big brother's going to try to get me while I sleep?
I can't decide, because it feels like this is just happening for the first time. So I don't know. I'm very torn on it. But this episode 2, then the younger brother gets weird with the sister, and it's just it's all over the place.
Why is the sister dressed like Little House on the Prairie?
Yeah, well, she's gorgeous in this episode. She's in a hammock, and I was like, damn, she is really beautiful.
But is she in a prairie dress? Because the last couple, she's been in like full on prairie dresses. I'm like, why is she dressed like that?
You know, they're trying to make everything in. You know that brand Love Shack Fancy?
Yeah, yeah.
Like I really think that their Little House on the Prairie. They're trying to bring that back.
Okay, the Amish look is back. All right, well, good. That's great for my body type. That's great.
I look good in Amish wear. I really do. It's kind of where I flourish the best. It hides my love handles. So, all right, I guess we're letting Mike go on these charges. We're not going to do too much there. I want to go, since we're talking about Southern Charm, I would like to talk about filing charges against one Mr. Shep and these cringe-worthy texts that he has sent to Sienna. I've written a lot of embarrassing things in my life. Like, you know, I go through, and anytime a Facebook memory comes up, I delete it because I'm just like, I don't want that out there in the world. I don't need that. Yeah. This to me is worse than anything I've ever written. I
find that hard to believe.
I find that hard to believe too. But I will also say that it isn't just the individual text. It's how many texts he wrote and how each of them got worse and worse, and how he was living a fantasy in his mind that didn't exist. I mean, they were caught up in a passionate moment. I guess they said, I love you. But, you know, first of all, don't say I love you when you're having sex the first time, but shit happens. You know what I mean? But no adult believes that is real love, you know? And Shep has no idea because he's never experienced anything like this. But, I mean, that last text he wrote her when, you know, again, I've talked about this over and over again. The woman has the ick. When you have the ick, you can't come back from the ick.
Agree. Right.
And he can't identify the ick. He's 46 years old. Or 44
honestly,
or 42. I don't care.
I think he's 57 years old. And it's disturbing to watch this man go through life and be like, you know, you should be getting ready to plan out your retirement, you know, and we're not
it's like his texts were like, and I don't care what anybody says, and they can't get in the way of our love. What love?
And no one is trying to like step in and separate you like Romeo and Juliet. I mean,
there is one person trying to step in, and it's Sienna. She's trying to be like, no, this isn't what I want. But
I hate that bitch. Okay, I hate that bitch, and for many reasons. She's just taken this moment to have her 15 minutes and the whole thing with Whitney and the Raya thing. And then, oh my God, you think I'm long-winded. She's so long-winded with the whole, you know, talking about who texted her first and then finally showing the thing. We don't care about her. I care about Shep. But I am so shocked by his behavior. I'm telling you, I am so looking forward to the reunion because, like I don't know if you've noticed this, but Andy loves Shep.
Oh, yeah.
He loves him so much that I can't wait to see what he says to him.
Hopefully he'll be on Watch What Happens Live soon, and he'll be like, dude, what's going on?
Like, that was
rough. But most excitingly, because I just watched Southern Charm right before we came on, did you guys see that Craig referenced My Bread and Butter, 90 Day Fiancé?
Yes.
It
really is a 90 Day Fiancé situation.
When he goes, I've seen enough 90 Day Fiancé to know she doesn't like him. I was like, this is the crossover I didn't know I needed. I need to get our Pillow King of Charleston onto 90 Day Fiancé. Some hot girl from another country come around, get with Craig, make it happen. He deserves, I think he deserves a hot Latina lover is what I think.
He
Miss
does,
Mary
but
Payne,
it's funny
Yes.
it's funny to listen to Craig give advice. Like, physician, heal thyself. What the fuck? You are so clueless. What are you talking about?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Now, Miss
so
Mary
funny.
Payne, I know that you are in a loving relationship, and you would never. But if the opportunity presented itself, and you could sleep with one gentleman you could canoodle up with one gentleman from Southern Charm, who would that be?
Craig.
Yeah.
I didn't have to think twice. I've been married for 25 years. You just didn't even have to. It's top. I mean, Austin with his thick tongue, no, I don't know what would happen. And then that's as dirty as I'm getting. I'll just put it that way.
Austin is a potato.
And yeah, he is. He's a PK kind of potato.
Ooh,
and then you've got Shep, who I have been fondled by Shep in real life at BravoCon a couple years ago. Disgusting. Craig is hot to trot, and I think he's very sexual.
Yes.
And he's wholesome. I like the wholesome part of Craig. Some people see him as soft, and I don't.
Oh, I don't.
I think that he's really sure of his masculine, comfortable in his own skin, and it's okay. He
was
wants
drinking
to use his
on this trip. He was drinking, and he's all like,
Yeah.
I don't drink anymore. I was like, I'm clocking your beer and your champagne. Come on now.
Yeah.
So,
Good for him.
let's make a ruling here on Shep. Do we find him guilty of being the absolute worst, and these texts being just disgusting?
Yes. Guilty.
Yeah, guilty.
Guilty. There's
Guilty.
no other way.
Oh my! And I just every time I watch the show, it's just like it's in my head. Like, dude, you are 59 years old. Like,
Wow.
you are
You're
so
107.
You're
Wow.
107 years old, and like I'm watching it as though I'm watching season 1 of Vanderpump Rules. It's just like I don't understand it whatsoever. It makes me very uncomfortable.
But what do you guys think about Taylor? Because I find her to be the most basic bitch, boring,
Me too. I can't stand
vanilla. Like, even when you see all her word art that says like beach, sand,
Yeah,
love,
yeah.
I'm like,
Yep.
oh, she's so boring. And so both of them missed a good thing with each other because they were equally matched. Because he could be like that guy, and she could be like the boring little missus,
And she's enjoying this so much, and she's not
she
over
should.
it.
No, she's not over it.
I
She's not
loved on the after show, Madison was reading, or she saw Shep's text, and she goes, "Ugh, that is such a long text. I would have never read that. I never would have read that full thing." And I'm like,
And it's so funny because as he's reading the text, and he read it entirely too many times in the episode, he's so proud of himself when he says, "And this is the end of the TED Talk." Like that was great, right? It's like, no, you're
Like, he
an
thought
idiot.
that was a joke for the ages. We're like, okay, we've all heard
Yeah,
that joke for the
right.
last 15 years, but the whole time he was talking, every word that he would say, like Craig or Austin, we're all going, every word they were like, oh, it's worse, it's worse.
Yeah.
Unsend.
I want to change directions here. I want to talk about Love is Blind. Are you both watching Love is Blind?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Covering it on my show. When they dropped 6, I dropped 6. When they dropped 3, I dropped 3. This Friday, they'll drop 2, I'll drop 2. I drop them the minute they come out.
She's
I pre-record all of
dropping
them.
bombs over there. Pink
I
Shade
drop them before
Podcast.
they come out. I always know what's happening. And then when I'm watching the first 6 ahead, people are like, I love this person. I'm like, just wait.
Oh.
Just wait. They all go downhill. Always.
Listen, we're very lazy over here, so we're not doing any of that. Honestly, it's like half the time it's like I ask Anna, I'm like, did you see this? And she's like, no. I'm like, okay, sounds good to us.
No,
we
but
can
I
have an
started
opinion,
watching
though.
that because I needed to understand the premise, and
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense to me, guys. We're visual people, like, we are like.
So what
I'm
you're
shallow.
saying you're saying you're shallow. That's what you're saying.
I'm shallow.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
And I
accept
agree.
it.
I think that Love is Blind would be something good for me to do. Once they get past my voice being as annoying as it is, I feel like they'd be like, he's funny. He's making me laugh. He can get emotional.
Yeah.
But then they see me and they open those doors and they're like, fuck.
No, I don't think that's true. Unless you're just like a super, super short king, I think it's fine. I think that you're cute enough that they would be like, okay.
I can make it work.
They're like, he's funny. He seems sensitive. He's cute enough. I can make it work. Unless you're 5'2", then I think you've got a real problem.
See, I think that if the producers would allow me to wear a hat during the reveal and they didn't see how big my forehead was, I think I might.
I think you're selling yourself short. I think
a
that
fighting chance.
Well, that's a terrible look.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not a great look.
I think your hair is good, and you should rock it a little more often.
It just needs to come forward, you know.
Yeah, you've got a good head of hair there.
Thank you.
You can do some wispy highlights like Whitney.
Well, I've been trying to do more like I was thinking about getting a balayage in and then some curtain bangs. I haven't.
I really think
yet.
Whitney is transitioning. Like, I don't know what's happening to Whitney.
I hate Whitney more than anyone in the whole world.
Mary Payne is horrified by what I just said. Seriously, like, what's going on with him? His wardrobe, everything has changed.
Why is Whitney still on the show? That's
he's
what
a
I don't
vampire.
He
understand.
produces it.
He's the producer.
Oh, gross.
It was this show was his idea. I mean, he pitched it to Bravo. Yeah,
so they can't get rid of him.
No, and by the way, I don't think he even really wants to be on the show. I think they make him.
Yeah.
That's like Mariah from Married to Medicine. She basically sold the show to them, and so they couldn't get rid of her for a long time. And then finally they were like, all right, we got to give you the boot. Okay, back to Love is Blind. So we have this couple, Dave. Now, Dave really wants to, speaking of incest, really wants to fuck his sister. Like, it's all he's talking about is his sister. He's like, oh, yeah, you've got such a tight ass. It's kind of like my sister's. Or, oh, your breast looks so supple right there. I love them. They remind me of my sister. It's disgusting. He did. He basically said all these things. It's disgusting. He makes me so sick to my stomach. But he's dating a girl named Lauren. And Lauren is, she's a modern day woman. She's not afraid to say that she loves to get off. She loves to get an orgasm in when she can. And she had this friends with benefits situation before she went on the show. Well, Dave has decided that she is an absolute whore. And his sister would never. I'm like, okay, but what's the difference?
Never.
What is the difference between you sleeping with your sister right before you came on the show and her having a one-night stand? Like, I don't see the difference here, but okay, buddy.
And why is the sister the standard by which everyone, like, what is that? Why is
I have
sister?
5 sisters, and I can
promise you my brother would, like, I am not the standard for anything.
I am
He's looking for the opposite.
Everything my 5 sisters are not. That's what I'm looking for.
Right. Exactly. My brother calls me Ugg for ugly. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't want that. He wants no part of it.
But I just, like, this poor girl has to come on and defend herself. And she's like, it's not that big of a deal. And, like, it wasn't anything. He's like, well, my friends are saying otherwise because they had mutual friends together. And she's like, dude, like, we hooked up. It was a friends with benefits thing. The last time I saw him, he was telling me about some Hinge date he went on. We were friends for one thing and one thing only, and that was to get off. And he's just like, well, my sister's going to be so upset about this. Oh, my sister. My sister, my sister, my sister.
Now, do you think that makes you a whore?
What? Sleeping with
Friends
your sister?
with benefits.
Yeah, I think that sleeping with your sister makes you a little bit of a whore. I'm not into that.
No.
I have a real strong feeling on this, okay?
Okay.
So, because, initially when we first met Dave, we hated him because his joke to all the women was, you're 30, so you must be ugly. If you're 30, why aren't you married? What's wrong with you? Why are you here? He's leading with insults because he thinks that makes him like the little kid on the playground that, like, pokes you until you cry. So, that's not immediately we didn't like him.
He would never say those things to his sister.
No, he would never say it to his sister. And Callie is her name, by the way.
Oh.
Caught that in the last episode when she was talking about they went to see his apartment.
As someone who's seen ahead, do we ever get to meet her?
I have not watched 10 and 11. I got them yesterday. I haven't watched them yet. But if we don't see her and there's no payoff of getting to see Callie, if Callie is not at the altar with him deciding whether he says yes or no, then we revolt.
I think Callie's going to walk him down the aisle. She's going to give him away.
Callie is like a Siamese twins we didn't know. Like, they're together. Like, we just didn't. It's the weirdest thing. But
you remember
whole thing,
Abby and Brittany with the one body, two heads? That's Dave and Callie.
I am so mad about this because here's what I'm comparing it to. Okay, you go out on a Friday night, you're a single something 30 in the city. You find a cute guy, you hook up, no biggie. Maybe you hooked up with him last week. Maybe he's just like at the end of the night, you go home with this guy. Mm-hmm. Fine. Then on Monday, you have a blind date that your friend set you up on. And you go, all right, well, Monday I've already got this blind date, whatever. You go on the blind date. That turns out to be the love of your life. You were never separated after that. Are you mad because Friday night you hooked up with somebody that you've had a situationship with? No. Who cares? Friday night you hadn't met blind date yet.
Right.
So I don't care if 2 days before or 2 weeks before she hooked up with her hookup because it's a hookup. Now, this guy lives in the building, and I don't know if you've been following this.
Yes.
But there's TikTokers and stuff out there who have showed he sent like legal letters to the building saying it was causing him emotional distress to live in the same building that Love is Blind was in. It was like, dude, they're shooting in the building because he had a relationship with one of the women. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. He is such a thirst bucket, whoever this guy is and wants to be on TV. He made his own Love is Blind, like, headshot. We're like looking for love, He made his own shit and was posting it on social media. Like they should have cast me to all that. Like the guy's a thirst bucket, and she's having to defend herself because she's like, I banged this guy for 2 months. Was it a mistake? Yes, but I didn't know I was going to meet my husband. I'm so mad about it. It's so slut-shamey. And again, you guys know I'm like a huge prude, but I'm like, who cares? She's in her 30s, and if she wants to have a situationship or bang a guy every 2 weeks because it's
aerobics.
It's who cares?
Who cares?
It has nothing to do with then you meet somebody and you're like, okay, so I'm not. What if he was doing that? What if he had a girl he was just hooking up with every couple of weeks because
his sister, he did
with his sister,
right?
And then would she be mad? Like, oh, then you met me? No, she'd be like, oh well, that whore's out of the way. Who cares? I mean. It's so slut-shamey. It makes me so mad. And I even cannot stand Lauren, and I'm defending her against this.
Oh, you can't stand Lauren?
No, she is so manipulative and so bitchy. I don't like her at all.
Wild. Okay, well, here's the thing. I would be upset. I would be mad because, like, there's something about when you know somebody and you want, like, you just, I'm sure, Mary Payne, you don't do this, but I already know Anna Quincoces does this, but I visualize people having sex, especially if I know them. And so it's like, do you have video? Because if you guys recorded at any point, I would love to just watch. And that's the only reason I'm upset at this point is because it's like, I didn't get to watch. I didn't get to enjoy this moment with you. So that's the only reason I'd be upset.
What video you want to watch? You think Dave wants to watch Lauren with her fuck friend?
No. I don't think Dave does. I do.
No.
You?
Yes. Okay. I want to watch just because it's like,
there's so much talk about it. You know what I mean? Give us a visual. Give us a visual.
Thank
Something.
you.
Anything.
At least let us see the guy. I've seen the picture of him. I'm like, Dave is a huge upgrade.
But Dave, I'm telling you right now, Dave has a 2-inch wiener. It's written all over him. He's disgusting.
Well, he and Ben, he and the other guy were both University of Minnesota baseball players. College baseball player. These guys were fucking everything on campus.
Oh, when I was playing baseball in college, it was just like they were throwing themselves at me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Same.
Such a liar.
Don't worry, Anna. I didn't believe it.
Anna, so how are you feeling about this? From one slut to another, tell us what you're feeling.
I honestly think that you have certain needs, and if you're into that, I'm not that into that thing anymore. I'm old. But
same, girl.
When I had enough, estrogen and testosterone running through my body, I would do it. I think it's a release. I think it's exercise. I think it gets your heart rate up. I think you burn a few calories.
It releases
I think it's good for you.
Happy stuff in your head. Like it's everything.
It's all the good things.
Even if at this point it's like, okay, well, you're not even married yet, so like, I feel like she's still kind of on the market. If I found out right now that she was still screwing him while they're filming in the building, I'd be like, okay, well, you're not married. Like, you're not committed.
No, that I would not be okay with.
Okay, that's where you draw the line.
That's great. But 2 weeks before, who cares? Okay. Who cares? She didn't even know him yet. Who cares?
Yeah. Exactly.
Now, I know I'm not going to switch Mary Payne's opinion on this, but Anna, let's say we're in the building. We are engaged. and she says you can come watch. Are you going to allow it? Yep.
I mean, look, I think it's early in the relationship to start with the whole watching thing, you know. At some point, it gets a little boring and you need to... by the
Have
way,
you ever
let me
been
make it
watched before,
clear.
Anna?
No.
Okay.
No, I've not. I would never, but some people do. But if you start with that right from the gate, you don't stand a chance. You know, you're bringing in donkeys to the bedroom by the second week during your honeymoon, you know? So yeah, no, I don't. I would not agree with that. I don't think that that's okay.
Okay. Well,
I think it's a recipe for disaster. You know, that's all I'm saying.
So I'm going to file charges against Dave for incest, being a piece of shit, slut-shaming, having a small wiener, and I'd like to file charges against whoever Lauren was sleeping with for citing emotional distress.
Yeah, you got to go look that up. It is crazy, crazy town. I was like, this guy just wants to be on TV so bad, and I really hope they don't let him. I hope they do not let him get on TV.
I do. I hope he comes to the reunion.
More lately than ever before, than when somebody really wants to be on TV, they do let them because they're willing to do anything.
Yeah.
They're willing to do whatever. Do you remember Housewives years ago, how like tame it was? And now you just know that if you don't act like a psycho bitch on steroids, the camera's not going to go like that to you, you know?
Yeah.
And so I do think he probably has a chance. I would not be surprised that we'll see him on.
One of my favorite thirsty housewives of all time was on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and that was Dana Pam, $25,000 sunglasses. I think about her at least once a week, and I think we let a good one go because she really was so awful. I loved her so much.
She went to jail, and she went to jail, and she has a podcast. So
she went to jail?
She sure did. Insurance fraud. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
I always confused her with the Vargas woman. They're not one
Elizabeth
and the same.
Vargas. They're very different.
That was OC.
Oh.
That was OC. But they, you know what? They kind of sound alike, actually.
Yeah, they remind me of each other. Now, what triggers these thoughts of this Dana woman for you?
Because you were saying housewives who don't get attention and they're thirsty to be on television. And then I just last night was watching, I fall asleep to Housewives. And so I was watching the $25,000 sunglasses episode because it's one of my favorites. And also I love the scene where Kyle walks into her house and she has her 1-year-old son's like comp cards on the front table. Like, just grab one on your way out. And she's like, yeah, he's like super smart. He speaks Mandarin and all this stuff. And then Kyle's like, oh, yeah, well, my daughter, like, she came out walking and she's actually a black belt. And it's just, it's one of Kyle's funniest moments, I will say. It was a great moment. So that's kind of how I got there. Also on Love is Blind, focus, Anna. Please don't get off track.
I'm focusing. I love to know how your brain works. I really do.
You don't want to know how my brain works. We have a situation that happens, and oh God, I felt so stressed during this. And that is when Taylor has to confront her short king Daniel about whether or not he was following her and then unfollowing her on Instagram. And
wow, what a drama!
When I tell you that I was nervous. As she's scrolling through the names, I'm like, please don't find him. Like, please. I liked them together, and I just did not want her to find him.
Here's what I think. If that happened, here's what happened. Because you have to tell just a couple of people actually where you are, because everybody else thinks you're on a spiritual retreat or a yoga retreat or whatever. They tell people they're able to skip work for 3 months or whatever. They tell people, but you have to tell actually a couple of people to have like an emergency contact. My thought was somewhere along the way, she like told one friend, you guys aren't going to believe it, but this is what I'm doing. And then later on, that friend was like drunk up in the bar. And somebody said, my friend Daniel is doing this show. I can't believe it. And they're like, wait, my friend Taylor is too. And then that friend goes and tells Daniel, he goes, oh, I got to see who this chick is. Is she cute? And followed her for like 1 second to see her pictures and then unfollowed. That's my thought. So a friend, because they all seem to know each other. A friend told a friend in the bar, and he followed her for like a day just to creep to see if she was cute. But I'm going to tell you something. If I heard Taco Bell Faith Family one more time,
I will say this. I thought to myself, she needs to do the real test, okay? Because he's saying he loves Taco Bell. You can't just jump on Taco Bell. I say bring him to Taco Bell, make him eat at the restaurant. And if he has to run to the bathroom and shit his pants, like he's not, he lied.
Yeah.
You can't just jump into Taco Bell. I've been raised on Taco Bell. I've been doing that shit since I was 3 years old. Like it's in me. I can not poop myself. But it's your first time. And this is a very white boy. Like this is going to be his first time with Taco Bell. Yeah. He's going to shit himself. And so I say bring him in. That's where we need to really test him out. Yeah.
Well, remember in the pods, he said Taco Bell wasn't his favorite and that he would also get a Taco Bell tattoo. And she goes, no, I want you to get a tattoo of whatever your fast food is. Oh. Don't just adopt mine.
Right.
So he's going to get like KFC on his lip. I don't know.
What tattoo would you have to get, Mary Payne? Can I guess?
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A?
How dare you? No, my favorite fast food is Wendy's Junior Bacon Cheeseburger.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay. Anna Quincoces, what would you be getting?
Burger King.
Stop it. Jr. Nobody likes Burger King.
I love Burger King.
Ew.
Whopper Jr. with cheese, no pickle, no tomato, onion rings instead of fries, and a Diet Coke.
God,
the onion rings at Burger King are so good. You get that onion ring. Like. Oh, you get the onion ring dipping sauce.
Yeah. Ooh, the zesty sauce it's called.
I feel like I would probably get Taco Bell, or possibly, if I'm feeling a little wild, I might get Arby's. Because I know everyone hates
Ken
Arby's,
loves
but
Arby's.
I love myself some roast beef.
That's a deep cut.
Yeah.
Arby's.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So.
Like the beef and that cheese, like the cheese whiz type.
No,
cheese.
I don't get the cheese on it. I don't mess with that.
Ooh.
It's just the roast beef. So Anna, how are you feeling? Do you think that he followed her?
I think he did. He did. And I think that he's, I think he was eager about everything, eager to like prove that he liked you like that? I like it too.
Yeah.
He was ready. He wanted to be ready. And it's cheating,
But who cares? My thought process is this, I want someone who is driven. I want to be with someone who's going to go after what they want. And so you went as far as to stalk me beforehand. Like I find that as a compliment. If I found out anyone was stalking me, I would immediately open my legs for them.
There are rules. The rules of engagement of this game.
And you're willing to sacrifice your standing on this show for me? You came on this show for me, and you want I will say this. I do have a very toxic mindset sometimes. And if I found out that someone was stalking me or someone was that into me, I would be so flattered. And I would say,
be flattered, not scared?
No, flattered.
The guy has no sense of self.
That's fine.
He stalked her to figure out who he was.
That's okay. It's
lame.
You know what? How easy is the conversation if I'm with someone who just agrees with everything I say? Like, that'd be great.
You would be bored to tears.
I probably would be, but it would be fun for a while. Because, my wife, she doesn't even laugh at me anymore. She's like, shut up.
Yeah, because you're not that funny. To live with you, I still find you funny because we're still in the whole, honeymoon period. But pretty soon, I'm just gonna roll my eyes at everything you do. It's gonna happen.
Oh shit. Okay. It will.
True.
That's true. You guys, I feel like you guys are both already there. You're like, shut the fuck up. So, I'm gonna say that if Dave did follow her, or not Dave, if Daniel did follow her beforehand, I'm going to say that he's innocent, because I feel like it was justified. I was fine with that. So I'm not going to file any charges against him.
I agree. And actually, I'm not 100% sure he did it. And I really don't care if he did, because it was just like the buddy going, hey, this one chick's going on there. I know you should see if she's cute. And he's just like, I'm just trying to get a standard of what kind of girl's going to be on the other side of the wall. Oh, she's cute. And that was it.
But also it's like, here's the other problem too, is you're an idiot if you did go follow her, because if her account was private, go to a friend of yours and say, hey, can you look at this girl and request to follow so I can look? Like,
yes.
That's stalking 101. You never want to follow from your own account. If you're going to call somebody, you call from a Google Voice number. Like, get your situation straight.
Oh, I didn't know that we're calling people now with our stalking, but okay.
Oh, I mean, if you're going to do it right, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Anna Quincoces, are you finding him guilty or not guilty?
I'm going to find him not guilty. It's not severe enough for
Yeah.
I
say we
let
throw
people
this one
off
out.
the hook for a lot less. So.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So I say, yeah. I want to talk about Summer House. I have to say something about Summer House, and that is that I have never felt more betrayed by somebody than I do with Wes, because I thought last season
you were in love with him.
I thought last season this was a man I could marry. I was in love with him. And then at the reunion and this season, I'm done. I'm not even looking in his direction anymore. I hate this man with a fiery passion. And the fact that he could bamboozle me and Sierra is just, it's very upsetting to me. But I appreciated the family dinner in which we just brought it all out to the table. I thought this was a very beautiful moment in which he had to sit there and squirm like a little bitch.
And I don't know if you have the kind of EQ to notice, but Sierra is still completely in love with him.
Yeah, no, she is. And that's a tough pill for me to swallow, because one, of all the people on Bravo, she might be the most gorgeous. So it's like, girl,
oh my God,
you could do so much more.
is.
And she's a nurse. So like she has actual education. She has skill set. Like most people on Bravo don't, I think.
And she can play sexy nurse.
Oh, yeah. Imagine be like, I need my physical. And she's like, all right, turn your head and cough. Yeah, that'd be great. That would be amazing. But I just am like, dude, you had such a good thing here, and you wanted to like leave that for some Instagram whores who wanted your attention. You're such an idiot. I hate him.
It was stupid. It was stupid. They gave him a chance on the show. He fell immediately. But they all do that. Look what Jesse's doing now.
Oh.
Look what Jesse's doing now. That's an accident waiting to happen. But I'm over Wes.
Yeah.
I'm over Wes.
Mary Payne, how are you feeling?
I don't watch Summer House.
Okay.
But I do watch the Traitors, so I'm just, whatever Sierra did is good, and whatever the other person did is bad.
He came on last season, and he was like our golden retriever, and it was just like we all loved him, and he was sweet, and he was kind, and
he was really funny.
He was like kind of dorky, and we were like, oh, we love a dork. Well, then he got a little bit of fame under his belt, and now he's an asshole. Now he thinks that he's better than everyone and everything, and I hate him, and I will never forgive him unless he comes back next season and he's a different person. Then I will fall right back.
Yeah, he'd have to be.
Is he the one that slept with Countess Luann?
No. Who slept with? Oh fuck! Who did sleep with Countess Luann?
One of the people for one of the shows. It was either.
Well, I know that Shep says that he and Countess Luann flirted.
Okay,
but if you flirt with Countess Luann, she will hump your leg.
You're going. Yes. Yeah. There's no flirting with her. It's
there is no flirting.
All
She's
or
like,
nothing.
Oh, you looked in my direction, and then she'll like.
But the problem is with someone like Luann, like you're like, oh, I can't wait to just get laid or something. But it's not going to feel like a lay when you're done. You're going to be limping out of there. It's going to be painful.
Yeah, I think it is going to be the aerobics of which Anna speaks.
Yeah. No, she's hardcore. I want nothing to do with that.
Who was it that Luann slept with? It was somebody, and then that person on the show, maybe it was Southern Hospitality, and they had.
I think it was Southern Hospitality,
and they had a girlfriend on the show.
Yes, I do think it was Southern Hospitality, and I think it was that the annoying one who looks like a used car salesman and thinks he's really great. Can't think of what his name is at the moment.
Well, that just describes half of everybody.
Everyone on Bravo, I know.
Yeah.
That was a tough one.
Let me tell you, Luann on that show, Love Hotel or whatever.
Yeah.
That's going to be a nightmare for everybody else because she's not going to give anybody a chance.
No, they can't put them in in a pool where they have to. No, it has to be this is a date, and then that man cannot also meet Luann.
I have to say.
I don't know, because Shannon is not like that. She's not crazy like that, and neither, I forgot who the other one was, a younger one.
There's Ashley
Darby.
And Giselle?
Yeah.
Is it Giselle? No.
Yeah,
Giselle.
Because she's still dating Namsis or whatever that guy's name is.
I think that show is going to be an absolute flop. I don't think that Bravo needs to be getting into the game show world. Like, it's just,
I agree.
It's going to be so incredibly stupid.
I don't think it's going to like go for seasons and seasons with a new cast every time or anything like that. I don't either.
No one cares about that. So anyways, Wes is guilty. I say maybe we do chemical castration for his punishment.
Oh, wow.
It feels like it's kind of the only thing that we could really do that's fitting of the crime.
Or at least maybe not something permanent like that, but just put like a little, what do they call
a cage. Like they have those cage. A chastity belt.
One of those things. A chastity belt during the course of the season, so that he really has to just think, and he can't even like whack off or anything.
Nope, nothing. It's all tied up there. Yeah. Moving on to traitors, because Wes is a traitor. Carolyn versus Danielle. This has been... they are two of the worst traitors we've ever seen, but somehow these two have managed to stay in there, which is insane to me. And it's like, finally, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it yet, but Carolyn has been found out. She's out of the castle. And the way that she milked it to Zac Efron's brother, Dylan, misguided. The way that she milked it to him and was like, my story, and that like nobody listens to me, and like it's just, and then like she just went full waterworks.
I know. I hate Danielle. I'm sorry. I hate Danielle with the power of 1,000 suns. Okay. I can't stand her. The way she threw herself on the floor, going.
What was that? Are we up for an Oscar this year? What was she doing?
They both are so over the top.
She just pointed all the fingers at herself. She's got one episode left.
I agree.
Come on. One episode.
But the thing is that if what's her name, Brittany, says no and doesn't become a traitor, which of course she will, because why would you oust yourself from the show? If Brittany says no and doesn't want to become a traitor, and Danielle's the only one left, they get her out in that episode, then the faithfuls all win the money.
Yeah.
Which has never happened.
Yeah. Do you think Brittany's going to say no?
No, I think why? I mean, just like they're all thirst buckets. She's not. Nobody wants to be off TV. Yeah.
No, I think she's absolutely going to say yes to that. I think that if I was to go on Traitors, what I would do is I would, in confidence, tell every single cast member that I was a traitor. But wait, because I'm going to help you get to the end. I'm going to be like, I don't want the money. I just want to stay on the show. I'm not even a traitor. I'm just saying this. And I tell every person, like,
so
you cannot
wouldn't be a
tell.
Traitor.
No, you can't tell anybody this. You can't tell anybody.
That's a dangerous game.
Well, then
I like it.
And then they tell everybody.
Yeah, but then when they point the finger at me, I'm going to be like, are you kidding me? Like, you're going to look crazy because then I'm a faithful.
No, because they'll vote you out at the round table.
No, because you want to hold on. Because if they get rid of the traitors too quick, they put new ones in there. They start getting to recruit more people. So they're going to hold me in their back pocket. I'm telling you, it's going to work.
I would have the hardest time on this show because I wouldn't be able to have a real conversation with anybody like, okay, here's what I think. Because how do you know? You just can't trust anybody. It's such a mind fuck. I would not be able to do it.
I would be so fake to everyone's face.
Game. Yeah, but it's a hard game because if you stay very quiet, then what are you hiding? If you talk too much, you know too much. Look how they got rid of Sam. Sam started talking and coming up with all these theories, and it's like, he's too smart. Goodbye.
Yeah, right.
If you had to think of one person right now from the people who are left, who are you thinking could win this?
Oh, God.
I would have said Carolyn. That's who I would have said.
Carolyn because she was so quirky and weird that you didn't know when she was nervous. You didn't know because this was her state the whole time.
She shot herself in the foot with the chess game.
She really did.
She should not have done that. That was so stupid.
Yeah.
I would say that I would like for Dylan to win everything just because he's nice to look at. And probably like if he celebrates, he might like rip his shirt off or something along those lines. And it's like, that's what America needs right now. There's so much division in this country. And I feel like everyone can agree that like, we have a new Efron brother has risen as the other one has ruined his face. So
I would be really upset if Danielle won.
Me too.
Really, really pissed off. I would be okay if Dolores won. But can you imagine if Tom Sandoval won?
Oh, God. The way in which Dolores hates Tom Sandoval brings me so much joy.
I know, because Trishelle's gone, so now they're like, she's like, well, I'll take the mantle for you, girl. Don't worry, I got you. If you have to go, it's like, and if you have to go, just somebody in here has to be on his ass. And it's funny because it's almost like he's having a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a redemption arc with this, because he's such like the lovable goof. And I'm like, never forget what he did.
When he did that singing challenge, he won me back over.
He did. And well, I have an unpopular opinion about Tom. So
I'm with you now. I loved hating on him when it was all happening. I thought that was so fun. And again, that was a moment that brought America together. And I love moments like that where we can all just hate somebody together.
Yeah.
We need more of that in life. But now that like the dust has settled, one, it's a boring story to me now. It's too old.
She benefited so much from it. And she wasn't
doing
that
great.
Into him. She wasn't even that into him.
No, and I just feel like everyone on that show has cheated. I think the problem was we were all so bored that we needed something, and he gave it to us at the right time. And so
and we
I've forgiven him.
I haven't.
You have not?
No.
Even when you saw him do the singing challenge and he just made you laugh?
Look, most women don't forgive him. I understand that. I know that it's an unpopular opinion for me to feel that way.
Well, two things can be true. I can think he's funny on the Traitors, and when he was like, with the, that was good.
That was funny.
But doesn't mean I've forgiven him for what he did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
I understand.
I feel like, here's the thing, Mary Payne, because you're at reality court, we're going to just overrule you, and you are wrong, and you're going to forgive Tom for now.
Wow.
That's just kind of...
I didn't know that's how it happened on this show.
Oh, yeah, no, it's like we don't do anything by the book.
He changes the rules
all the time.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now, this is Anna Quincoces' favorite subject to talk about, and that is P. Diddy, who has now been fired by his own lawyer, and it's not looking good for the Diddy. Anna, what are your thoughts?
It is hard for a lawyer, for a defense attorney that is going to get this much press from something
and
to
money.
Walk away. Yeah, and money that he would walk away, but he could not handle the whole child trafficking, sex trafficking. It was just too much. So even defense attorneys, contrary to popular belief, they have standards. And it also means that he thinks that he doesn't have a chance.
Yeah.
I think this is getting worse and worse because remember, he has all the information because he can't repeat any of the information because it's privileged. So the way that it works with a lawyer is like if you know somebody is going to perpetrate a crime and he tells you and it's a crime, on somebody's life or something, then you have a duty to say that. But if it all happened already, no matter what he told you, you have to just keep it in. And you know what? It's
the way that she's
burden.
Explaining this to us as if we both didn't take the same oath as lawyers.
I know.
We
but,
both went to law school.
Time.
Yeah.
I know.
We both did the bar.
I just wanted to tell Mary Payne. I was trying to explain to Mary Payne, not to you.
Yeah.
I know how many episodes of Law and Order you've watched. I know.
Exactly.
But I think that the weight of the shit he knows already is fucking with his head. You know what I'm saying? It's like now you can't unsee it, and he just wants nothing to do with him anymore. That must be pretty bad.
I think it's because it's that, but also maybe he keeps getting information and then he asks his client about it who lies. And it's like, I can't represent you if you're just going to lie to me because...
Absolutely. It's very possible.
I think that
Very
he's
possible.
like catching him in lies and it's like, I'm not going to be able to represent you if you can't tell me the truth or enough of a truth where I can defend you.
Right.
And then also I think that the shit is so dark that he's dark. Like, even though everybody deserves a defense, I think this is too dark even for me and whoever he is. I'm sure he loves money. Do you think he's going to get Roy Black to defend him next?
No, I don't think Roy would do it. Not at this point. Roy's hilarious now. Roy is older, and Roy is one of the smartest, probably. But Leah says that sometimes Roy will fight with the spam callers.
Oh, I do that all the time.
He'll answer the phone, And he fights with them, explaining to them that it's not legal if they do this. And she's like, Roy, you are one of the most prominent, greatest legal minds of our time. Why are you spending the time talking to a spam call?
Oh, see, when I get the spam calls, I have gotten on multiple occasions them to say very inappropriate things while they are doing very inappropriate things. And so that's what I find to be really fun. Now, here's my thought, because as an attorney myself, if P. Diddy's looking for somebody, I would love to take this one on. I'm not barred. I'm approved. I'm approved in all 50 states to do
what?
To do lawyering.
50 bars?
Yeah, I took 50 bars. Yes.
Wow.
I could be.
Wow.
Well, you can file an amicus curiae.
The amicus curiae. I did. I did the amicus curiae,
which will let you do it for one time if everybody approves.
And I have my amicus.
It's an amicus brief.
Amicus brief. I have that.
Like means friend of the court.
Right. And I am very friendly with the court. So if he's looking for someone, I would like to take on his case, because I would love to lose it. I would love to just do the worst defense possible.
Ooh,
but then you could get disbarred.
You know what, though?
It won't matter.
This podcast is taking off so big that I don't even need the law anymore. I'm above
But it
the
wouldn't
law.
matter. You would make so much money from that one case, and then you would get so many like talking head spots on various shows. You wouldn't need that lawyering money.
Oh, that would
write a book.
Oh, I'm in. 100%. To get to be on one episode of 2020 as like a legal analyst, that would be enough for me.
Yeah.
They haven't called me yet. I don't know if that call's coming or not, but hopefully it does soon. One last thing I want to talk to you ladies about, and that is Justin and Hailey Bieber. Now, I'm sure that many a times Anna has referred to him as Justin Bieber because she's not with the times, but people are speculating that after they had their son that they are heading for divorce. And it does seem like maybe he is struggling to find himself in fatherhood. He was recently seen out with Dave Chappelle. Mm-hmm. You know, Justin Bieber's somebody who is, I mean, speaking of P. Diddy, like, I feel like Justin Bieber has quite the past in Hollywood, and I feel bad for him. But I feel like he needs some serious mental help, some serious therapy. And I do feel like they could be heading for divorce, but I think that Hailey is so terrified of that, because who is Hailey Bieber without him? Right. And I feel like she's just holding on to
she's Hailey Baldwin with very famous parents and a model. So I disagree with that.
No, nobody cared about her
he's put
before.
her on the map already before, but she's already now the mother of Justin Bieber's child. I think Justin Bieber was really into the idea of being a parent. And I think that, you know, I feel like he didn't have much of a childhood. Yeah. And then when you're now faced with this child and it's like, wait, I want to be you. You know, it's like his like long post that he wrote, and I kind of screenshot a little bit on February 20th, an Instagram story set to the song Free
Entering
Fallin'.
Evidence in the courtroom last
Free
minute.
Fallin' by John Mayer. And he says that it's time to grow up. Changing is about letting go, not trying harder. You tried to follow all of the rules of being a 30-year-old. This is what he put. He was open about his Christian beliefs. He gives advice to his followers. He keeps talking about how he needs to mature.
Do you remember when Justin Bieber was seen with that pastor all the time who looked like
Hillsong?
Oh my God, those abs on that guy were insane.
Well, he's a pastor that just wants you to look at his dick. He's like, I mean,
it worked.
Well, listen, no, I think Justin Bieber had a P. Diddy upbringing is what he had, and I think it's terrible, and I think he looks awful, and I think the Dave Chappelle thing actually to me was a positive. Okay. I think Dave Chappelle's been through some shit and probably was actually trying to be like, hey, here's how you deal with fame, and literally people across the street taking pictures of us, and I think Dave Chappelle probably is trying to like help him and mentor him. Which is probably a wrong take. But
he looked I think that's not a bad take. I just felt like he looked very disheveled with Dave. Like, it just seems like he's not.
Gaunt. He's not.
Yeah.
He doesn't look. He doesn't
Yeah,
look
he's
well.
not. He's
And it's
going
not
through
Ozempic
it.
face either. It's just something else.
No.
He's going
not
through
well.
it, and this text or this Instagram post was a cry for help. He talks about spirituality. He talks about God, how God's going to get him out of this. But he talks about maturing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
Can
he's
I tell you
on
guys
his own
something?
journey.
He needs to go find that Hillsong pastor. Just find one that's not in jail.
Yes.
And then and get some spiritual guidance. I think
There is a video.
I predict that they'll be separated
I
before
hope
the
not.
end of the year. I hope not too, but I feel it. And
feel
maybe
like
they'll
They should get a TV show. That would be, I mean, that saves everybody's marriage. Let's get them a TV show, and then we could go through the divorce with them.
Well, maybe they can just be in the Baldwin TV show.
Did you watch that?
No. I'm
Did that
I'm
start already?
refusing. Yes, it started last night.
Oh
Yep.
my God, ¿cómo se dice cebolla?
How you
can't
say
stand
You guys,
cucumber?
you guys, I watched it. I'm covering it on my show, and I hate to tell you this.
No.
You're going to like it.
I'm going to like it. Oh, I have no doubt I'm going to like it. I told him I want to cover it.
You're gonna
We
like
have
it.
to
I'm
watch
sorry,
that.
you are. Now
I'm gonna-
the speaking of new faces and transition, the transition between when they show Alec Baldwin, he first met her, which was only like 11, 12 years ago. They've been together like 12, 13 years, and the two of them like side by side at events and stuff, compared to what he looks like now. Listen,
Oh, yeah.
whoa,
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
man has aged
Yeah,
hard.
she sucked the life out of him.
Is he the one who
7 children.
shot the person in the face during
Yes,
Yes.
That,
okay.
that's we start off with that.
Yeah, they
Literally
start
with the
off
bang.
with that.
We start
Yeah.
off with that on the show. And when they show him, speaking of Law and Order, they show him like in the interrogation room when they're sitting down to be like, okay, we were trying to figure out what exactly happened. And he's sitting at the table and they're like, well, we have some bad news for you. It's an interrogation room, like literally from Dateline, interrogation room from the corner, the camera. And they say, we have some bad news. She didn't make it. And he pushes himself. What? I mean, when I tell you, I was like, oh, like that got me. I was like, okay, now I feel kind of bad for him.
Is it possible it was recreated? They were like, we're going to get you. Okay. It was in the moment.
It's in the interrogation with the little timestamp with the grainy footage.
They have that filmed.
Yeah, it's filmed. And you're going to end up liking her. Crazily, you're going to like her.
Wow. How you
Because
say
of how supportive she was to him.
Cucumbers?
Yes, when she says they're talking at one point together, and he goes, "You got to stop." He goes, "You're speaking English, but you're doing it fast with a Spanish cadence. Like you have to stop." He goes, "You know how I feel about that."
Oh, shit.
And she goes, I mean, he doesn't say me, but she's like, she gives him a look, and then they do all the headlines all over. What is with her accent? Da 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 da. And she's like,
so
"Listen."
they address it.
They address the shooting and the accent in the first episode,
Oh,
which was
wow.
smart.
Maybe I do want to watch this.
And she goes,
Yeah, no,
she's
we
like,
have to
yeah,
watch
she
it.
says, it hurts my feelings. I grew up in a bilingual home. Everybody in my nuclear family lives in Spain now. And yeah, it hurt my feelings. And we want the children to be bilingual like I grew up. But yeah, it hurt my feelings. She doesn't say why she did it or why she can't say cucumber. But you do see her literally like talking to the children like, blah, 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 gato. I'm like, okay, I got it, cat. But he's highly allergic to cats. And she got 4.
Has
She's trying to kill
anybody
him.
fed the doggo lately? El doggo need food? Okay, so here's what I want to say about all of this. Wait,
I
what
got
were we
you off
talking
topic.
about?
I'm sorry.
No, you're
I'm sorry.
fine. What were we talking about before the Baldwins?
I don't know.
No, the
Hailey and
Bieber
Justin.
and Hailey, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a video out there, and I want everyone to find it and watch it because maybe every couple months I'll get on YouTube and I'll watch it again because I feel like every time I find something different in it. But there's a video of Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez in like a sketchy part of LA at like a flea market. And people are like, they're absolutely buying drugs like heroin or something. And they're very
Jeez.
young. And when they spot that someone's filming them, they start like running. And it is, I don't know why, but I would like it to play at my funeral because I do think about it quite a bit. It's
Okay, now first of all, they're running because they're celebrities and now somebody's following them. Okay, it's not because they're buying drugs. Maybe they were looking for friendship bracelets or hippie sweaters at the flea market.
gotcha. Okay.
Could have been
Some
anything.
plates, vintage
I
plates.
like, you know what? Maybe you are a defense attorney. It very quickly came up with that.
Sage or something.
I don't like anybody to talk bad about Selena Gomez. I don't.
I love Selena
I know that
Gomez.
she's had a life, but I just got to say, you watch the video, you go watch that video, and you might feel a little differently about it.
I think whatever Justin Bieber has been through, if he needed to just quickly grab himself some crack on the street, it's fine. He's been through a lot. He was diddled by I think he was totally diddled by the diddler and fucked up for life. That's what I think.
For sure.
That's what I think.
Who's not doing crack these days? You know, Anna does crack. We started this podcast. You were like, "Hey, I have these caffeine pills," and then you snorted a line right then and there in front of us. It was just like, it was wild. So
somebody gave me these, and I'm telling you, every time I put one in my mouth, by the end of whatever episode, I'm like, "Woo! What else do we want to talk about?"
Anna says the same thing about other things she puts in her mouth as well. So. Guys, thank you so much. Miss Mary Payne, Pink Shade Podcast, when can we find it? When do new episodes come out?
On the free feed, they come out Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. That is Love After Lockup, 90 Day Fiancé, and then whatever's happening on Bravo on Thursdays. That's what comes on the free feed. On the weekends and stuff, I'm doing Love is Blind, 90 Day Last Resort. Pretty soon, the Baldwins. No, the Baldwins is going to be in the free feed. And also coming soon to the Prime is Temptation Island. I've already gotten all 10 episodes, and woo!
It's a good season
because it's on Netflix. Oh, so it's not on
USA
anymore.
Every show now that's about people faking cancer. I mean, Brooke started a trend.
That's right.
Everyone is faking cancer.
I hate to say this, and I know it's so fucked up to say, but there's a part of me that really does like. I appreciate Brooks for the service that he's done because those seasons of OC, I always rewatch those. When I go to bed at night to see him and Brianna go at each other during the reunion, and she's like, and where he's like, "You said your name was Girth Brooks." Like, I love those seasons.
Another one of Mississippi's finest.
Yes.
I love Garth Brooks. Oh my God.
Not Garth Brooks. Not Garth. Brooks.
Ayers.
Well,
Brooks Ayers is from Mississippi.
In case you wanted to know, I love Garth Brooks, and my go-to karaoke song is "Friends in Low Places." So if anybody ever wants to sing karaoke, I know it's basic, but I do it really well.
Do you know what my go-to karaoke song is?
What?
Work From Home by Fifth Harmony. It's Work From Home by Fifth Harmony, and I do them and the Ty Dolla $ign. So I'm multifaceted.
Fifth Harmony girls went to school with my girls.
What?
Yeah.
Camila?
Yeah.
Camila Cabello?
How have you never told me this? I'm obsessed. I would marry Camila Cabello. I actually went into Camila Cabello's house once, but that's a story for another day.
Wow.
Mary Payne, thank you so much for being here. I do apologize that some of your defenses didn't work in your favor. That's just because we're always right here.
Oh, I didn't realize that was going to happen.
She's very proper. Listen, she's very proper, and we could use a little bit of proper because we're going down really, like, we're at the abyss. Some of our people are, I think they're going to appreciate having a little Mary Payne on here.
I think so.
Thank you.
To kind of elevate us. We needed a little bit of elevation.
That's
But Mary, if you ever want to talk at length about the Baldwins, I will happily come on your show because I'm going to get so into that. So into that.
Okay. I'm marking it down right now. My people will get in touch with your people.
Oh, okay, good. Yes. Also, my people will be in contact as well for anybody who needs anything. What do I have again? That allows me to do law in every state? An
amicus brief. Yeah.
Yes, I have the amicus brief. So if anyone needs a defense attorney or anything like that, let me know. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Mary Payne. Thank you, Anna.
So much fun.
Thank you, Pat.
Fun.
Thank you, Hurrdat. And of course, thank you myself as well, And thank you to my wife who's watching our children right now. But in the biggest thanks ever, thank you, Beyonce. We don't want to be murdered. So
we don't.
Thank you. Court is officially adjourned. Goodbye.